Shemaya. Hayabah Shemishai Baraka Thumb. May the Most High Christ bless you all. Welcome to another Sabbath, Most High's holy day. Before we begin, we always start with our Hebrew credo, which I'll say it 3 times in the Hebrew, then repeat it once in the English. So everybody can raise their hands after me. Shema Yasha'ala Ahaya Alahayana wa Ahaya Achad.
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 Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Everybody can be seated. Alright, so we'll start with me reading out the law, like we do every Sabbath. We'll start with Exodus, the 20th chapter, then Brother Ariyah will do Deuteronomy 6, and then we'll pick it up in Genesis, where we left off last week. Exodus 20 and 1. Shema Deacon Lamadaha Ban Yahawada Ban Yashrala. Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings, and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not the Most High speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for the Most High is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where the Most High was. And the Most High said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall you make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep, and thine oxen, in all places where I record my name. And I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. All right, Brother Ariyah, here picking up in Deuteronomy 6. Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter.
Shema Ariyah ben Yahawada ben Yasha'ala, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Most High your power commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land which you go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Most High thy power to keep all the statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily as the Most High power thy fathers hath promised thee, in a land that flows with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be a frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates. And it shall be when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware to thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells dead which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not. And when thou shalt eat and be full, then beware lest thou forget the Most High, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. You shall not go after the other gods, or the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Most High thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Most High thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. You shall not tempt the Most High your power as you tempted him in Messiah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Most High sware to thy fathers, to cast out all thy enemies from before thee, as the Most High hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, What mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which the Most High our power hath commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, We were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Most High brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Most High showed signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he swore to our fathers. And the Most High commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Most High our power for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness that we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High power as he had commanded us.
Wow. All right, so last week we left off on Genesis 46 and 29. So may I ask Brother Christian, you can start us off. We had Genesis 46 and 29. And every brother will read 14 verses. Genesis 46 and 29. Still dealing with Jacob and his sons going over into Egypt.
Brother Christian from the tribe of Judah from the nation of Israel. Genesis chapter 46, verse 29. And Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet Israel, his father, to Goshen, and presented himself unto him. And he fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen thy face before thou art yet alive. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and shew Pharaoh, and say unto him, My brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade have been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds, and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you and shall say, What is your occupation? Ye shall say, Thy servants' trade have been about cattle from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. Genesis chapter 47, verse 1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brother, and their flocks and their herds, and all that they have are come out Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. They said moreover unto Pharaoh, for to
Sojourn.
sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks. For the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee, in the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen, let them dwell, and if thou knowest any man activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh.
Wow, that's 14. And remember this, because we're going into this chapter today dealing with this Egyptology thing, so we're coming back to this. Brother Gabriel Allah. Genesis 47:8.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Brother Gabriel Bon Yahweh Bon Yeshua. Genesis chapter 47, verse 8. And Pharaoh said to Jacob, How old art thou? Verse 9. And Jacob said to Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life being, and have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers, in the days of their pilgrimage. Verse 10. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and went out from before Pharaoh. 11. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. 12. And Joseph nourished his father and his brothers and all his father's household with bread, according to their families. 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. Verse 14. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. 15. And when money fell in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money felleth. 16. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give for you your cattle if money fail. 17. They brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. 18. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, We will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our burdens in our lands. 19. Wherefore shall we die before thy eyes, both we in our land, but by us in our land for bread? And we in our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, to give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. 20. And Joseph brought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man in his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. Verse 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. 22. Only the land of the priests brought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned to them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their lands.
The water. Brother Michael Allah.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Yashara, Abinawa, Shabbat, Shemayim, Kadash, Haya Shamka. Genesis 47, verse 24.
3.
Verse 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have brought you this day in your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you should sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the land, in the increase, that you shall give 5th part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own. For seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food for your little ones. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the 5th part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand upon my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. But I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. And he said, Swear unto me. And he sware unto him, and Israel bowed himself upon the bed's head. Verse 48. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, The Most High Almighty appeared unto me at Luz and the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and I will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine.
What? 14. All right. Brother Dawada.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, shalom.
Brother Dawada, one Yashar.
Genesis 40:86.
Genesis 40:86. And thy issue, which thou detestest after, shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan. Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet was but a little way to come unto Ephraim. And I buried her there in the way of Ephraim. The same is Bethlehem. Yeah, Bethlehem. Verse 8. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons, and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom the Most High had given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, the Most High had shown me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees. And he bowed himself with his face to the earth,
And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand. And he brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly. For Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, the Most High, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the Most High which fed me all my life long unto this day. The angel which redeemed me from all evils, the angel which redeemed me from all evils, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, in the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused, and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
What? That's 14. Brother Eygptology.
Shalom, everybody.
We kind of want to just read 7 verses because we got a lot of stuff to go into. So just read 7.
Brother Yaquah, Ben Yahawada, Ben Yasha'Allah. Genesis 48, verse
20.
20. And he blessed them that day, saying, and to thee shall Israel bless, saying, the Most High made thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said to Joseph, behold, I die, but the Most High shall be with you, and bring you again into the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and my bow. And Yaquab said, called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Yaquab, and hearken into Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, and the excellence of dignity, and the excellence of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed. Then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch.
Wow, that's 7. Shalom. What's going on, brother? How you doing? What's your name?
June.
June?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what we about?
Yeah.
Okay, so we reading out the law. You know, every man 12 and older, they read out the law, 7 verses. So you want to come up and, just kind of introduce yourself, what tribe you from, what nation you from, and read out the law.
Or to have a big gym.
You said June, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Big June in the gym.
Okay. Genesis 49 and verse 5.
Verse 5.
Yeah, just read 7 verses.
That way, some of the Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations, O my soul. Come not down to their secret, unto the assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, in their self-will they dig down the wall. Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and in their wealth. For it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Judah, thou art he whom thy brother shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion. Wealth, from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion who shall rose him up.
Who should rise him up?
You shall rouse him up, verse 10.
Verse 10, okay. The
Scepter.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the lawgiver from between his feet, until
Shiloh.
shall come, and unto him shall gathering of the people be. Binding his fowl unto the vein, and his ass caught unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with vines, and his teeth white with milk.
What? That's 7.
Okay.
Good job. Brother Nyla.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom. Please body cleanse.
Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zion. Issachar is a strong as couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good in the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, and adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose, he giveth goodly words.
What? That's good. Yeah, that's good. Who's this your friend right here? Shalom, bro. What's going on? What's your name?
Shalom.
Okay. Shalom. We at verse 22. What's your name again? Daniel Jones. Okay. Shalom.
Joseph is as fruitful, even fruitful by a well whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. For his bow, Abdi, his strength and the arms of his hands were made strong for the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From this is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the gods of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breastes and the womb, the blessings of thy father have a prevail above the blessings of my progenitors until the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. Thou shalt be of the head of Joseph, and of the crown of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning she shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it, that their father spake unto them, and blessed them, every one according to the blessings he blessed them.
Wow, that's good. I think that's all the men right now. All right, so we'll pick it up next week on Genesis 49 and 29. All right, so Shalom once again. The Most High's holy day, the Sabbath right here. So this is the day we come on as the children of Israel, and Most High orders us to actually meet every Sabbath for a holy convocation. So this is the Most High's day that we gather on, and we, go in the scriptures and we teach. All right. So today we want to talk about this Egypt or Egyptology deception, this thing. You understand? Because There's a lot of people out here that's getting caught up in this whole, I want to be, you know, we, the people from Egypt, or we want to try to be more like the Egyptians, you understand? And so they go into this Egyptology